Hello out there, welcome. It's me, Jessica Snow, and what you're about to see is not the first video that I conceived, shot, and edited for you. I did make a different video about a few days ago, and due to certain current events and also just like the vibe, I realized that is not the perfect video to release at this time. And then this morning I was delivering a meditation for a private group, and I happened to record the audio for that meditation, and after the meditation many people reached out to me and said it was really helpful. So that is the experience I'm going to share with you today. Since I just recorded audio, you're just going to see some sort of artsy imagery, but really the audio is what I would like for you to tune into. So closing your eyes, of course, is totally encouraged, but you don't have to. And if you've ever been to one of my in-person experiences or been part of an online group where I'm delivering a meditation, I know that in this upcoming experience that you're about to have, you will be able to sense when we are together and a meditation is coming through, there is something that is beyond me that has better words than I have, that is able to deliver information that is from a higher source than what just little Jessica down here has access to. And that I know you're going to be able to feel that energy, that vibe coming through. This piece has a real vibe to it. So feel free to share this experience. Feel free to listen to it more than once and let me know what you think. This could be an interesting new direction for us, because really at the end of the day, I've never wanted to be someone who sits around telling other people like how to live. What I've always really felt that my unique kind of niched in ability is to let this other thing come through and create experiences that are otherworldly and mystical and comforting and elevating. So I hope that's your experience, and enjoy. Okay, so I have, I think, a helpful, extremely helpful practice for us today. This is something that I've been doing lately, and it has to do with sort of without letting our thinking, needing our thinking mind to get too involved, has to do with releasing some things that perhaps we no longer need, and then calling back some of our power that may have gotten scattered at some point. And then once we've done those two activities, the last third of the meditation, maybe even a little bit more, is just going to be resting and being present and awake within that space. So I'm going to be using the word particle a lot. Interpret that in any way you like. I'm just using that phrase, not in a particularly quantum or scientific way, but just as some name for something that is probably unnameable. Little flecks of light and energy. Okay, so let's all make ourselves a tiny bit more comfortable. For me, that always involves with putting my feet on the floor when I'm sitting in the chair. For you, it might mean something different. In a moment, I'm going to close my eyes because I like to close my eyes. If you don't like closing your eyes when you meditate, do not close your eyes. Just let your gaze become soft and unfocused. So if you want to close your eyes, go ahead. Let's begin by imagining that we may have some thoughts swirling around sort of the crown of the head, above the head. And let's breathe those thoughts into the place where they belong, which is the mind. So a few cycles of breath, just really gently, like inviting all those perhaps swirling thoughts to come into the nice big brain. And as we feel the thoughts come into the head, let's then take a few cycles of breath where we're reattaching the head to the body, right? The head is part of the body. So we're just starting off by sort of grounding and distilling a little bit. So we've got the thoughts breathed into the head where they belong, And now we're breathing the head, sort of reattaching it to the body, making it a part of the body where it belongs. And now let's breathe that body onto planet Earth, where it belongs. So just a gentle sort of distillation of our consciousness or our awareness. The thoughts are now in the head instead of flying all around. The head is part of the body, and the body is really connected to the earth. And then right away today, in the mind's eye, in your imagination, the invitation is to see yourself in a very lush, verdant, sort of rainforest, jungly type of place. So envisioning yourself in a place where there's lots of green, kind of glossy leaves and plants. And since this is a rainforest, there's a lot of little moisture in the air in the form of mist, or perhaps even a light rain. So not only are these plants like very green, all different colors of green all around you, but there is a lot of hydration. There's a lot of glossiness. There's a lot of shine to these leaves because of the humidity. And the invitation is to see yourself standing in this rainforest kind of place. And as you're standing there in the middle of all of this green, your hands are at your side, your arms are at your sides, and your fingers are pointing down towards the earth. And your shoulders, your arms, your hands can be relaxed. You're welcome to do this in the physical body or just do it in your imagination. And then for a little bit of time, we're going to imagine that this light mist, this light, perhaps even rain, gentle showers, the water hits the top parts of your body first, the crown of the head, the peaks of the shoulders. And then the water runs down towards the earth. And the invitation is to pay special attention to the tips of the fingers, where little drops of water that, maybe started at the crown of the head or started at the peaks of the shoulders, now are just dripping off the fingertips down into the earth. So you're almost like a plant yourself. In the same way, a plant stays in one place and the water flows down its green leaves and branches and then drips off to flow down into the earth. Of course, the roots of the plants can then use that water. The same thing is happening with you. And as you pay special attention to the tips of your fingers where these droplets of water sort of, running off of you and down towards the earth, I invite you to imagine that through this process, anything you no longer need, any old habits of body or mind, anything that is keeping you quiet or keeping you small or holding you back is like being collected by these tiny drops of rain or mist and then flowing off the fingertips down into the earth to be transmuted, to be transformed. So a little bit of time here just to let this sort of process where you're just staying still and you're letting the water that may be softly falling on the crown of the head or the tops of the shoulders. You feel that water sort of like running down your arms, past your hands, and then off the fingertips. It's carrying away all these little particles of things that truly you no longer need. And since you don't have to be super active in this process, all you need to do is stay still like a plant. There's not a lot that you need to do. There's not a lot that the thinking mind has to get involved with. It's almost more like you're kind of kicking back. You're perceiving this mist or this soft rain. And you're just sort of a stopping point for the water, a little rest stop as it makes its way towards the earth. And if you want to bring your awareness really to those fingertips and feel those drops of water just dangling from the fingertips and then dropping down to the earth to be absorbed. As you breathe and let the water gently sort of run over your skin and off the fingertips and down into the earth, just telling yourself like it's okay, just let it go. Don't need to name it, don't need to explain it, don't need to get really involved with it. Just let it go. Maybe a few more cycles of breath, just feeling the water sort of carrying away anything you no longer need. Perhaps there's a sense of community or communion with the green plants around you because you're all doing the same thing. You're all staying still enough to allow the water to run down your leaves or your fingertips down into the earth. And then as you're ready, taking a nice inhale, and as you exhale, the rain or the mist ceases, it stops, it tapers off, and the sun begins to shine into this very green environment that you're in. And as the sun begins to shine, an actual rainbow forms above you. Letting yourself have that vision of the rain stopping, the sun coming out. Now all the leaves of the greenery around you are extra shiny, and this rainbow forms in the sky above you. And now, in the same way that you were able to stay still and release and let go and surrender, now you're inspired by this combination of sunlight and the rainbow to, call back or call in any little particles of your power, your light, your energy that has gotten scattered. And you do this in the midst of all these green plants. And you just stay there. And you stay still, just like the plants. You let yourself be dried by the sunshine. And then you let yourself receive little particles, perhaps from the rainbow, perhaps from the sunlight. You call your power home, back to you. So for everyone, this may look or feel different, and however it is perfect. You may have the sense that after that release, there's some space, there's some spaciousness. So you can call that rainbow light or that sunlight into those places. And you may have some insights arise about maybe you need a lot of blue from that rainbow, or maybe you need some red or any other color. Or maybe it feels better just to call back these particles of your power and just pure sunlight. But definitely breathing into and enjoying the feeling of like calling power back to you. And this is not the kind of power that you lord over someone else or something else. This is the kind of power that just naturally emanates and radiates from the heart of your being. This is aligned power. So yeah, calling back the power, feeling either that rainbow light or that sunlight, little particles of it coming to join and become one with you once again. No need to get into a big story about how things got scattered to begin with. Lots of reasons why, none of them important at this juncture. It's more about being one who is awake and able to call in and call back the power, the energy, the light that's really yours. And as you continue to call back your light, your energy, this power, perhaps you can sense a difference in your physical body, in your energy. And that's good to notice. And then go right back to calling your power home, calling your power back to you in the form of rainbow light or sunlight. Being conscious of all the green plants around you doing the same thing. These plants actually eat light. Maybe a minute more of calling power back to you. Maybe hearing that there's, the suggestion is to do this just for a little bit more time. It's like, yeah, let's make these breaths matter. Let's become even more intentional about welcoming our power, our energy, our light, our essence home. Feeling those particles that may have been scattered, like clicking into place, becoming part of us once again. And now releasing that practice of actively calling power back, although more power may arrive. And now comes the easy, pure part of this experience. Our only work is to stay awake in this green environment. The rainbow, the sun may stay. But after this releasing, and then that calling in, that calling home, now we just witness. Simply be still, be awake, moment to moment, breath to breath. However things are is however things are. Insights may arise. Those are yours to keep. You can put them in your imaginary pocket. I'm going to be quiet for a nice little section of time. And the suggestion is just to stay in this place. All this greenery around you. You've let some things go. You've called some things in. And now it's just being awake to what is. Moment to moment, breath to breath, in this beautiful space. Anything might happen. If you get carried away or lost, just come back to all these green plants around you. mind has wandered, no, that's totally normal and natural, and the invitation is to come back to this very green place. Enjoying a few more cycles of breath here. And then there is an invitation here. In a moment, we're going to be breathing ourselves back into the physical space that we're in. If you'd like to sort of gather up this scene, this sort of green rainforest, plant-filled space, maybe even with the sun, the rainbow, or even that misty rain, and you want to sort of like plant it within your own heart. You can do that right now, just using a little bit of your inhale to sort of draw that all into you, so it's inside you now. You can carry it about with you as you go through your day, your week. And then breathing and really feeling ourselves back home in our body. And breathing and feeling our body safe on the earth. And maybe one cycle of breath to draw down a fresh insight. If there's one to be sort of harvested. Maybe it's just a feeling.